Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of SolitaryCraft. So remember last episode when I was saying that we were going to get a bunch of sticks and storing them could be a nuisance? Well, I threw down a barrel and I still got over a barrel's worth of sticks. So we're going to burn these things in our dynamos over there. Or as Aaron DM calls them, dinos. I don't know if you guys watch him or not. I made all these portable tanks because I found a pool of resin and ender, and I figured it'd be easier to put them in portable tanks and bring it over here, but we're not going to do that yet. I'm going to do that at a later time. I had a brilliant idea. We don't need to store that molten steel in the mystcraft age I was talking about before, because there is an awesome block called a floodgate. It's kind of like the grate from Red Power. It lets you pump liquids into the world. And I've got a pump over here. You see the recipe. It's a mining well in a tank. It's pretty cheap. You have to power it with redstone engines or something. So I was turtling down here, going the wrong way. There is all this space under here. So what we're going to do, we're going to hook up the ender tank. I made a couple of just whites. We're going to put them down with the floodgate, and we're just going to empty all the molten steel into this big area that I was turtle mining in. And then we will, I don't know how much I'll fill up. I'll fill up a fair amount of it. When I think it's enough, I will make a Tinker's Construct smeltery over here, bring the pump back, and just pump it straight into the smeltery. So one thing we might want to do is get some cobblestone from somewhere. Well, I'll be able to do that later. Basically, I don't want it to cover my elevator because then I don't believe it'll work if there's anything in the way. So let's go to the age, if I can remember which one it is. I think this is the book. I think it's the last one I made. So let's go set this up. And I am bringing one magmatic dynamo to power this thing instead of redstone engines. It'll be much faster. So let's dive in here and see what we can figure out. Okay, here we are. Hopefully this is the one. Nope. This is the one with molten electrum. So let me go back and I think it's the one I created before this. So give me just a minute. I'll be right back and we'll go to the steel age. Okay, here we are. I don't know how deep this is at all. I don't know if you can even see. It's pretty dark here. So actually, I think if I'm a blaze, I can probably survive this. Or a fire bat, either one. If I can see the GUI over here. Fire bat, here we go. Hopefully I don't die. Let's make sure I am what I think I am. Okay. So we are down pretty far. Sorry, I know you probably can't see. This thing is pretty deep. It's 24 right here, and the surface is around 30. So wherever we put this thing, we're going to be in pretty good shape. As long as I don't let my pump fall in here, I think we'll be okay. So what I'll do is I'll just put it right here. And I'm going to need conduit. Put the magmatic on there. This ender tank here. And then we'll put the other ender tank on this side. And as soon as that thing hits, it should start pumping. It's going to take a minute for that thing to go down. I just didn't want to waste any of it. Hopefully molten steel will go into an ender tank. It will. Excellent. So now, I did not bring a chunk loader. We may have to make one. Or a dimensional anchor. Whatever you want to call it. Either way, the ender tank should have enough steel in it to get us going. So let's put this guy... How about right there? We'll just put the ender tank next to it. And it's going to flow out. Okay guys, so it's been a little while. We have a fair amount of steel down here. I'm actually re-recording the end of the episode because something occurred to me. I believe I can pump this stuff straight into casting basins and get the blocks. So I'm going to try that. I'll just pop a couple of them here and we'll throw some fluiducts on here. And they're filling right up. So if we then throw a couple of item ducts and maybe one of these guys. It should take the blocks out of these once they fill up and harden and put them in the strong box. And it is. So I don't even have to make a smeltery. I may do that at some point. But for right now, this is going to do just fine. I actually have about a stack of seared bricks. They're actually cooking right now. So I may go ahead and throw another couple of them down here. And we'll see what I get. And then I'll decide what to do with all this stuff. Because there's a ton of it. I mean... We're working on layer 2 right now, I believe. So this will be whatever the area is. It'll be that many ingots times 2. So that's going to be quite a bit of steel. It might be kind of an exploit, but I didn't make the age. mystcraft gave it to me, and I'm just using what the game gave me. So when we get to electrum and copper, I have those ages also. They were randomly generated. I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to forego the floodgate. I'll just pump it straight into the basins and get the electrum and copper and stuff like that. So I'm going to work on that between this episode and the next. A couple of things I mentioned in my previous recording of this part was how the pump and the floodgate work. The pump actually removes source blocks, and the floodgate places source blocks. So, you know, it starts out on the bottom layer, which is, you can see, it placed source blocks over all of this. This is kind of flowing. If we weren't pumping into the casting basins, this row of source blocks would be expanding. So this is really cool for liquids other than water, because at some point if you're pumping water you're probably going to run into an endless pool situation or infinite pool, whatever you want to call it. So you'll definitely overflow on this end. You can't move a set amount of liquid from one place to an appropriate container on another end without overflowing with water. But you can see the source blocks, they're kind of creeping. So it looks like the casting basins, while the steel is hardening a little bit, actually makes it to the floodgate. So I'll probably actually kill this. I'll bring the pump over here. I'll just pump them in. We've already got a half a stack of steel blocks, which is just ridiculous. We're going to have so much steel, we probably won't know what to do with it. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and do some copper and electrum as well. In between now and the next episode, we can definitely use the copper. Electrum, I don't really know what we use it for, besides some of the coils and flux capacitors, which I don't know if I have a need for anymore. Oh, redstone energy cell frames. So we are going to need a ton of this stuff, so I'll actually probably make as much as possible, just because, like I said earlier, you can never have too many resources. I'm also going to go ahead and make the machines to make the hardened glass and stuff, the magma crucible and the liquid transposer as well, in addition to the induction furnace, induction smelter, whichever makes these. Then we need to make some hardened glass for some other recipes, and I'm going to take all those portable tanks that we saw at the beginning of the episode, and I'm going to bring some resin and ender over here so we can do some stuff with that. So that'll do it for this episode. I think this is going to go up on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So if you guys celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas from me. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, then Happy Wednesday. So as always, if you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, whatever, please leave them down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.